Hey guys, Craig here at JS Racing Products. Got something really cool to show you guys today. Something I'm really proud of. By no means is it the fastest car I've ever built, but it's definitely one of the neatest. Here I am sitting inside. It's hot out today. Air conditioning's blowing ice cold. And it's turbocharged. So, not often. I mean, it happens. You have some guys out there with turbocharged Integras and Civics that keep the AC. But wait, it gets better. It's automatic. Well, that's also not really incredibly impressive because I'm sure you've seen some automatic turbocharged cars that kept the AC and power steering, but they were OBD1. And this one is a 97, so this is OBD2. So, got your interest yet? If you're a true Honda person, this should be sparking your interest because there should be no way on earth to turbocharge and tune an OBD2 automatic. Well, I figured it out. And I'm going to show you guys how it's done. That's what this video is about. Let me give you a little glimpse under the hood here, what's going on. So this little intro here for this video is not to tell you guys all in one step what I've done here. You can watch the video to see that. Just want to show you a little sneak peek. This is a huge success. Like I said, power steering, air condition's ice cold. This car is an OBD2. It's a 1997 automatic Integra LS. We bought it as an unmolested, never been modified. It still had the original airbox, still has the original exhaust on it, which we have to change. Runs great, tranny works good. It's a really good car, but it was slow. Its best pass ever down the quarter mile was 17.9 at 73 mile an hour. That was on some good cool conditions. Typically it runs like 18.0, 18.1, 18.2 if it's a little warm out. You know how that goes if you drag race. But we're currently running only 14. We're currently running only 4 pounds of boost. It spikes to 5, falls down and holds a steady 4. And we've now improved this car's performance drastically. And we're going to improve it some more once we put an exhaust on it. This stock factory catalytic converter and small exhaust is keeping the turbo from spooling to its potential. There's too much back pressure. And it's forcing the extra exhaust to go right out the wastegate. And I don't really want to stack a bunch of springs in that gate and, you know, fight the back pressure because that causes a lot of high temperature to raise up in the head. And we're actually trying to fight detonation since we can't pull timing. We're using premium fuel. We run 91 and up octane in the tank. And then we have the methanol kit doing all the extra fuel on the boost, and I'll show you in the video how that's done as well. But we've now dropped this car down to 16.2s at 86 mile an hour. 60 foot is still a horrible 2.6. It used to be a 2.7. We can only brake boost off the line about a half a pound of boost, and we've dropped it 1/10 of a 60 foot from 2.7 to 2.6 with only half a pound. So once we do the exhaust, we're hoping to get about 1 to 2 pounds of boost off the line. We should drop this thing down to probably around a 2.4 60 foot, 2.5, and that'll put this thing solidly in the 15s. Our ultimate goal with this car is high 14s, low 15s, but we'll be very happy with anything in the low to mid 15s. I've been considering it was an 18-second car to begin with, and that's a huge drop. So without any further holding you up here, let's go ahead and check out the video and see how we've actually done this. And I know during the video I also mentioned that this is not a JS Racing Products kit, and that, you know, I had stuff laying around from other kits and I bought individual items. Since this has been such a huge success and it works so great, I've actually got a hold of all the people and vendors that I've contacted that I've gotten all these different parts from, and got a good price from them to make one kit. So if anybody's ever interested in doing an OBD2 Civic or Integra here, and you want a kit like this, don't be afraid to email me or message me, and I'll give you a price on it and help you out, especially if you're interested in doing an OBD2 where you need to follow exactly how I did to tune it, because there's not a lot of options out there. I guarantee if I stuck this thing on Craigslist today, it would be gone tomorrow. Lots of people want automatic Integras with turbo and air condition and power steering. They're just a great car. It's so fun. I mean, I have a lot of stick shift Hondas over the years. I still have one that are turbocharged and fun to drive. But on a day like today where the heat's just clinging to your skin, I'll take a slower turbo Honda any day with AC blowing on my face than I will a hot sticky one. So here's the video. Enjoy. Alright guys, in today's how-to video, it's going to be another how to turbo your Honda over the weekend. This was going to be a little different than all the other three though. This one's going to be pertaining to usually a car that's not even able to be a turbo because you can't tune them, the OBD2 automatics. This is an OBD2 automatic Integra LS that I purchased for the sole reason of my girlfriend being able to have a car to drive. And she's been racing it in the bracket racing. You know, the bracket racing doesn't require you to go fast, just be consistent. But it's not fast enough for her. It only runs 17s. The automatics in these are notorious for not being able to handle gobs of power, so we're going to keep it very limited. We're probably only going to gain around 100 horsepower. But the OBD2s themselves, especially with the automatic, just don't have a tuning solution. We would be limited to probably running like a Greddy E-Manage or the Ultimate E-Manage, whatever it's called, or something like that. But I've come up with a different way. So first I'm just going to show you how to turbo the car. This one's going to retain power steering and air condition since it's her daily driver. It's just going to be a mild little turbo kit, stock internals. And then we'll get down the road here and I'll teach you exactly how we're going to actually tune the car without an engine management system. So first step to turboing your Integra automatic over the weekend is getting it in the air, which we've done. The next step is going to be to get the coolant out of it and get the radiator out of the way. You have to switch to a half rad, and I haven't ordered it yet, so I gotta get on the ball and do that. But for now, we're just gonna pull this full length radiator out and the fans, and that'll be the first step. The step after that will be to go ahead and remove the stock manifold and the exhaust that goes back under the oil pan, because we do have to drop the oil pan to weld a bung to it, unless I can get the welder in there and weld it without doing that, but I'd like to take it off anyway. So that's where we'll pick up the video with a couple steps down the road. Hey guys, small video update here. So we removed the air box that was here. We've taken out the radiator and fans, and we're in the process of undoing the exhaust manifold. Eric's down there undoing the collector and where it connects to the back of the block. And then we'll be able to drop the manifold and not downpipe all in one section. So we'll pick up with that all done and out of the way. Hey guys, small update. We've got the exhaust off, as you see. All the way back to the cat. So next step here is now going to be to go ahead and get the turbo and the turbo's manifold on, so we can decide about where we want to put the where we want to mock up and run the drain into the oil pan. Another step we're going to have to take here momentarily will be to take the bumper off, so we can go ahead and figure out the intercooler mounting behind the bumper. So we'll pick up here with a little progress. Okay, so we're kind of getting some things done here. We test fitted the manifold. In this case, we're going to go ahead with a cast log. We're not looking for a lot of power. It's an automatic car, but we also want it AC compatible to clear the AC and the power steering. So what we're doing here with the turbo is we're actually installing the feed fitting, and we're going to go ahead and put the drain fitting on it. Then we're going to put it on the car and check for clocking, see if we have to clock the housings at all. Remember, you always want your drain and your feed orientated where the feed is straight up and the drain is straight down. And of course, the drain has to go downhill to the oil pan the entire way, never straight and never uphill. So I'm going to go ahead and get all that taken care of, and we'll pick up with that. Okay guys, so another quick update here. We've got the manifold temporarily bolted down with just a couple bolts. The turbo's installed. We haven't put on the feed line yet. What we actually just did, I'll show you here, is welded on the bung to the pan. So next thing is to make the downpipe fit. I mean, this is like a universal kit. The downpipe needs clocked. I have to slice off the flange down there at the end, actually clock it to match the cat, and then weld it back on. So little things like that to be expected. Other than that, she's going smoothly. So we'll pick up an update with probably the oil lines connected and the exhaust done. Okay, small update. Haven't got too far, but went ahead and started putting the plumbing in, and the intercooler hung, and just slicing the underside of this bumper mount out. kind of made like a slice across, you know, underneath, so the intercooler can go up in. And we test fitted the cover, and the cover fits without any trimming. So now we can just get the intercooler piping. This kit came with a bunch of pieces, but as with some universal kits, we'll have to make some adjustments and tweak it a little. Luckily I keep a lot of on hand, so no big deal. So that's where we stand. We got the blow off valve on, wastegate will go on next. Still haven't trial fitted the factory intercooler or radiator yet. Just for now, trying to keep as much space as we can for this. But then we'll give her a shot. So we'll pick up with that. Alright, small update. We got the intercooler finished. Brackets are welded. Piping's all officially done. The bumper cover fits with no trimming, which is not nice. It doesn't happen often. For now, we're sticking the piping together without my little trickery I'm going to do here. Like I told you before, I'll show you guys how we're going to tune this, being that it's OBD2 and automatic. And it's going to involve actually installing a mass airflow meter in here out of like a Chevy, a GM mass airflow meter. So we'll end up putting one in the piping here, and that mass airflow meter will actually read the airflow and control the methanol injection kit we're going to install. And that's how we're actually going to fuel this fuel under boost with a separate methanol kit that's ran off a mass airflow meter. So we still have to fabricate a dump tube for the wastegate. We did get the OEM radiator back in. We just had to switch to a different fan, which I had one laying around. Wired it up. Lower hose is on. Didn't stick the top one on yet. So got the oil line for the drain done. I went and just picked out a heater hose that had some bends in it that seemed about right, and it worked out good. So we have the drain done. See it there. Pipes all connected. Everything's finished for the front. Now, with an automatic, it's very critical to keep the tranny fluid very cool. So I'm actually installing this big RV tranny cooler, and I'm not using the one that was in the radiator. So that's going to go in front of the intercooler. I don't need to worry about getting this intercooler completely covered in air because, as I just told you, we're getting methanol. And it's going to be such a low boost, low power car, it'll be fine. I technically probably could have went non-intercooled in this setup. Lots and lots of low horsepower vehicles were non-intercooled turbos from the factory, and they did just fine, but a little extra bonus there with the intercooler. Oil's back in. I got to put the wideband in yet. I have the wideband sensor there so I can actually watch what the air fuels are. What else? I don't have a missing link yet. I'm going to either put a voltage clamp or a missing link on the factory map sensor so it doesn't see boost pressure, and throw a check engine light. Haven't decided which one to do yet. I got to decide soon. The missing link actually goes between the map sensor and the manifold and tricks the manifold into not seeing any, or tricks the map sensor into not seeing boost. And a voltage clamp, of course, just actually stops it from being able to go past 5 volts. Both have their pros and cons. That's why I'm still deciding which to go with. Got antifreeze to put in yet. Figure up some type of an air filter. Literally, I think tranny cooler and antifreeze, and I can technically fire it up because the oil is in it. So we'll pick up here in a minute with some more updates. I have Matt inside actually putting the boost gauge on, or installing the boost gauge. So we can see boost pressure. So we'll pick up in a bit. Okay guys, finished up. Bumper's back on. See the intercooler through there along with the tranny cooler right in front of it, catching all that air. So wastegate's on. I ended up making a custom dump tube here, going down around, cutting back and exiting down here right past the air conditioning condenser, aiming away from the air filter. Of course, you don't ever want your air filter to suck in the exhaust. So it's pretty much ready to go for a test drive. I can't rip on it, go into full boost or beat on it or nothing. I don't have the methanol kit yet, but this is just to check for leaks and drivability, partial throttles and stuff like that. So before you go sending me all kinds of messages asking, oh, where did I get this kit? This isn't really a kit per se that you can just go buy. This was a mixture of stuff I bought online, had laying around. You know, it's a custom put together kit. You can go online and find manifolds that are AC power steering compatible. That's what I did. I already had stuff like the blow off valve, wastegate, bunch of the piping already here. Intercooler I got online, stuff like that. This video is not really to show you how to install the kit, it's to show you that it can be done, and then of course how we're going to tune it with the methanol kit and the mass airflow sensor. And then I will probably, once I get it perfected, because I don't think anybody's ever done this before, once I get this perfected, I will be selling the pieces needed to do it. So guys who have OBD2 cars, like 97, 98, 99, 2000 automatic Integras, and you can't put an OBD1 back conversion on it because it's automatic or because you don't want to, and you're not looking for insane horsepower, because obviously we're staying with stock injectors and fuel pump on the car side of it. And if this works out really well, I'm actually going to do this to my Ridgeline. I have a Ridgeline with a J35 OBD2, and if this works out well for this car, I'm going to end up putting a turbo on that and using methanol to tune it as well with a mass airflow meter. So we're getting ready to fire it up, check for leaks, see how she sounds. Matt's hooking the wideband up just so we can, when we do go for our test drive, we can kind of get an idea. Matt, you want to start it? Yep. Let's hit the key there and plug the wideband into the cigarette lighter as soon as you get a chance.
These things ain't hooked up.
Nope, they don't go to nothing. That's for my HP tuners. Alright. Go ahead, fire in a hole. Sounds like we have a squeaky belt. But you see there, she's pulling some vacuum, so that's good. Sounds nice and quiet. Sounds good. Don't know if the blow-off valve's working. Don't really hear it, but probably not making any boost either. A little smoke coming out from all the new parts.
I'm down to 10.7.
Now it's not warmed up yet either. So let's see if she can make any boost. So probably be easier once we're out on the road. Let her warm up here and we'll go for a little test drive without really beating on it or nothing. Put some air in here. Alright guys, so that's where we stand. We're getting ready to set her down, let her warm up here, burn off all the smoke and all the oils, and we'll go for a test drive. Stay tuned for more updates. Alright guys, so another update here in our how to turbo your automatic Honda. In this case actually OBD2, because if you happen to have an OBD1, you're got a little more options. But as we discussed with the OBD2 Honda, there's just no management that's straightforward. You could go with like a Greddy E-Manage or some type of other similar piggyback system, but we're not. We're going this way. So what we've got done here, and I've been driving the car for a couple days, not going into boost really. 1 or 2 pounds is all I saw because the map sensor senses it, throws check engine light, and you know, it goes into limp mode. You have to clear the code. I'm still waiting on some stuff to arrive to take care of that. I was going to put a missing link on this, but they're on back order, so I'm going to put a voltage clamp on the map sensor instead, and then that'll stop the computer from seeing boost and flipping out. But yeah, the turbo kit's done. It's installed. The car runs fine. Like I said, I haven't really gone into boost because you can't yet. But to fix that, part of it showed up today. So here we go, the alcohol injection system. Now most of you following my channel should know that I've done several how to turbo your Hondas over the weekend videos, 3 of them to be exact. This one was not meant to be a 4th one per se, because obviously you can follow those first 3 and get an idea on how to turbo your Honda. This one's more dedicated to those of you with OBD2 automatics who want to turbocharge them and up till now just had no option. So also in my channel you'll see the benefits of methanol injection with my red Civic, and then also how to install a methanol injection kit with my Porsche. So this video is not going to show you that either. You can obviously watch those two and learn more about the methanol injection. So what I'm going to do now today though is I'm going to install this kit. We want a nice large tank that'll last relatively a long time, and that'll get straight alcohol put in it. So I'm going to install this kit into the car, and I'll probably pick up a couple segments along the way, even though like I said it's not really to show you how. I already did a video on that. And once the methanol injection kit's installed and a few more pieces arrive that we're waiting on, I got a half rad coming for it. I was able to fit this one in, but it doesn't keep the car cool enough. Mainly because this is supposed to have 2 fans on it, and I only got 1. So by putting a half rad in here, we'll be able to put a more powerful single fan on it. And then probably what I'll do is I'll end up being able to put a small fan over here on the AC condenser yet, so that we're not losing that that draw through the AC condenser that helps keep the AC cold. AC works, but better when you're moving down the highway and air's flowing through because it lost that 1 fan. So we'll fix that too. Alright, so I'll pick up here with some footage of me actually having the methanol injection kit installed or partly installed. Alright guys, so small update. Methanol kit's just about finished up. Still have to put the nozzle in here, but I got the hose ran up and check valve and filter installed. Went ahead and got everything wired up here under the dash. Pretty much finished up, just a couple little things to go yet. I'm putting the control box inside the glove box there. Put the LEDs there for on and for low level indicator. Tank's not fastened down yet, but pump is. Remember, I know this isn't an install video for you guys, but remember to always put your pump lower than your tank. Gotta put the fitting in the tank here yet, and this will get connected to that like this, and this needs to be fastened down. Got the low level float wired up. Still have to put the vent out of the car yet, drill a hole and just run that out so that the vents the alcohol vapor out of the car. So getting there. Still waiting on some parts to come yet. Once the rest of the stuff gets here, we'll finish her up and then we'll move on to showing you guys how I'm actually going to tune this car. I know I've kind of hinted around to it. Put these legs in. In my way. Alright, so tripod legs. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to use this mass airflow meter that we took off of Project Blackhawk for our CNC Customs page. When we turboed that Camaro, we made it speed density. So we had this laying around. So I have some reducer or some silicone couplers coming to go from 3.5 inch down to 2.5 inch, and this is going to get put right here, right in line in the pipe. And then what we do is usually methanol kits will run off of a map sensor. Well, what we've done is come up with a way to do it with a conversion box. We have this conversion box right here that'll get wired into the pigtail. I have the pigtail, I can cut the pigtail off the harness on the Camaro. It'll get wired into the pigtail. Basically just 12 volts, ground, and then a signal wired to this, and then this green wire will run in to the methanol controller instead of the map sensor wire. And airflow flowing through this will, as the airflow increases, we can set when we want the methanol to turn on. And you know, it's not going to be in language that we typically understand. It's going to be in hertz, and hertz is mass airflow's way of signaling the computer how much airflow is going through it. So say for example, you might have 8,000 hertz, might be, you know, X amount of airflow. Let's just say for example like 3,000, 4,000 RPM in first gear. You know, because an engine is an airflow pump. The airflow goes up as RPMs go up and then back down, etc. Well, you could actually have, the reason why we can't use the map sensor in this case is because you could actually have, with such a small turbo like this, boost just pegged at whatever we're going to set it to. Like say we set it to 8 pounds. Just go to 8 pounds and it could stay pegged at 8 pounds even if the RPMs are all the way down at 3,000 all the way up to 8,000, and the thing just stays pegged. Well, obviously there's a real big difference of airflow there, but the boost, the turbo is just pegged, or the map's just pegged, so that would stop us from being able to use that to tune. Also, the second reason why we can't do that, most important reason, is we can't upgrade from the stock map sensor on an OBD2 automatic Integra or Civic. So, in other words, we have no way of even letting the alcohol system know there's boost, because we're going to be clamping this with a voltage clamp, and I'll show you that when it comes in, so that it tricks the computer into not seeing boost at all. And that's why we need to use the mass airflow meter. So this is going to be a pretty neat little trick. I'm going to actually be doing this on some other vehicles and teaching you guys how to do it. And if you guys knew, if it seems to work out really well and you guys seem interested in it, I'll probably even end up selling the pieces to do it. So I'm probably going to end up doing this to my Ridgeline. I have a 06 Ridgeline with a J35 in it, automatic, OBD2, and I'd like to put a turbo on it just to add a couple more ponies. And I think the best way would be to do it like this. So this is kind of like our guinea pig, and then we'll go from there. But all right, phone's ringing, got to answer it. So that's where we are. We'll pick up when we have some more stuff done. All right, small update. Went ahead and got the alcohol injection nozzle installed after the mass airflow, of course. It doesn't interfere with it. Then we also have the mass airflow meter installed here. So just finishing up the wiring. This is the inverter box that'll convert the signal from this to be able to run the methanol kit. Just got to run this green wire in yet to the methanol controller down there, and then wrap up a couple odds and ends, and we should be ready for some test runs on the methanol kit. So just wanted to update you guys a little bit, keep you posted. Go ahead and get some more of this done and pick up some more footage towards the end here. As a small update, been out driving, working out a couple kinks in small areas. So for example, the upper radiator hose had a bit of a leak we had to take care of, stuff like that. But bit of news, I could not get this big ass 3.5-inch mass airflow meter to pick up enough of a signal off this little 4-cylinders flow to or to trigger the methanol pump correctly. So that does not work, but like I always say, I didn't fail. I just found another way that doesn't work. So what I did was I tried a different method, and this seems to be working great. I can't use this map sensor to trigger the methanol because it's voltage clamped, so that it doesn't throw the check engine light. However, I had another identical map sensor that I piggybacked in. Right now it's just kind of half taped up so I assume, guaranteed it worked. And this one is not voltage clamped, and it's only running the signal out from it to the methanol controller. So I am now able to control the methanol off of its own standalone map sensor that it does not get voltage clamped, and it's not tied into the car's ECU. This allows me to adjust fueling. So on the test drive so far, we've only had up to 5 pounds of boost, but during that 5 pounds of boost, we were seeing low 11, high 10 air fuels, which is great when you're running alcohol with pump gas. Probably even a little extra safe, but since I can't pull timing or anything, you know, it's a low compression LS motor, so not that big a deal. We'll run premium in the tank and we'll spray methanol with the boost, and she should be good to go. So I'm going to go out on a test drive here, just filling the water back up, and we'll report in how she runs and hopefully get her to the track this Friday and see if she does better than a 17.9. That's this car's previous best. I can't really brake boost any boost. I believe it's due to that small exhaust pipe and the stock cat and stock muffler. It's not letting the turbo spool much. I have a feeling if we could get a couple pounds of boost off the line and get the 60 foot down, that would drastically help this car to quarter mile times. But until that happens, it won't be in time for Friday, I can guarantee that. Here we are, what, Wednesday already. So we'll just be looking at mile an hour and see what kind of improvements we've gained there using the Wallace Racing horsepower calculator. See what kind of gains we've got, if any. You never know. So small update. We'll pick up with some more footage whenever we have something to report.